Sarita looked out of the window after finishing her work. The clouds were covered as if the rain had just arrived. A kind of shady atmosphere. Even though it was midday, it was kind of dark inside the house. Seeing her husband sleeping comfortably on the couch, she came out seeing how he could sleep on it even during hot days. She seemed to be sleepy. However, she did not sleep thinking as she would not get sleep due to hot weather. She knew that she could not sleep in that hot weather. So she came to the next room to read something. All read novels. No new book has been brought recently. Should I have to write an exam by reading those novels again? She said to herself and looked at the old shelf in the corner, wondering. Immediately she remembered her old letters. Sarita thought. During that time, we were waiting for letters for news. When you open the letter and read it, you will come to know about the news and reach it to the other person. It was also good. Now, instead of sitting idly, she again thought she should read those old letters. Sarita untied the letters on the shelf and started removing them one by one. Most of the letters were from her husband, some before marriage, others after marriage. There is no substance in any of the letters. I have reached here. I will leave on Sunday as soon as work is over this week. Convey this to my children too. This was the letter her husband had written when he went to another city for work. She moved all the letters written by her husband aside. A letter of interest could not be written by him. I should teach him how to write a letter first. Immediately, oh, no, no, no. To whom should he write a letter to nowadays? She changed her opinion instantly and thought that it was enough that her husband was speaking properly over the phone. It dawned on Sarita that she had never even spoken to him on the phone. In those days, talking over the phone was also not there, no? Now I remember, she muttered. Picking up another old letter and looking at it, there was no address of the sender. Since it was so many years ago, although some of the letters were illegible, the letters could be guessed and read. Sarita was sure that the letter had come to her. She started reading the letter. Dear Mrs. Sarita Vishwanath, are you thinking that I am remembering you now after all these days? You are right. What should I do? Just work. There are enough people now to think. Some have problems. Some people's ideas are very complicated. A lot of time is spent in getting to know some people. In the midst of all this, it would not be wrong if I say it's little difficult to remember you. But what to do? That is what you have done. There is no other way but to miss you. I thought your hand would taste good. However, when you cooked for the first time at your husband's house, you showed your ability so clearly that someone went crazy. You have always loved cooking. Every dish you served on the plate had its own taste. If you put that lemon pickle next to the salt on the tongue, you should slurp your mouth. The sweet and sour taste given in the middle was intoxicating. The salad of cucumber and grated coconut was as how lemon juice is mixed with honey. It gave great pleasure. Okra curry was good either with rice or eaten as it is. The beans were cut so well that it was as if each bean had been measured with a tape measure and cut into small equal portions. There was not a single uneven piece in that wonderful bean salad. Have I not drunk the poppy seed sweet dish at least twice? The flavor of that light broth still has not left my fingers. As I am writing a letter, I feel the smell of the juice between those fingers. How sweet is the fragrance of your broth. The pumpkin curry. There were as many slices in a bowl as there are hundreds of fishes in a small pond. Need another proof that your hands are generous. However, I didn't know you could make coconut sweet so well. If I have to eat two of them in the floating ghee that is so sweet that it breaks my nose, how it tastes! You may have learned to do this sweet from your mother. Then you should be grateful to her. Despite all this, you have not forgotten to cook your favorite vegetable rice. There is no doubt that it will be loved by all those who have eaten that vegetable rice. The cumin flavor seasoned with ghee added to the buttermilk was special. It is said that all is well if the end is good. You brought that good end with your buttermilk. May your cooking skills be an example to all. Sarita, may your cooking skills grow day by day. Thank you endlessly for giving my stomach the fortune of such feast. Yours, Saru. This is it. Who could this be who has praised my cooking in such detail? If you look at the name, it is showing Saru. Now Sarita thought that she knows who this Saru is. She began to relive the dim memories, trying to wipe away the dusty portrait and make it clear. Sarita started thinking. When I got married, I was not yet 20 and I was living in a joint family. New atmosphere, new people. I had spent 10 to 15 days comfortably without any work. Then it was my turn to cook for the first time. On that day, some of my husband's relatives and friends who were in the town had come. At least 20 to 25 people had joined for the meals. However, I got up early in the morning, took the responsibility of cooking, and finished work 10 minutes earlier than the scheduled time. A kind of anxiety, a kind of excitement was feeling inside me when cooked dishes were served. I tried to guess whether they were enjoying cooking by observing the facial expressions of the diners. I don't remember anyone saying anything or being full of praise. When my husband was asked, he only said, "It's fine," and was busy talking with his friends. His response was annoying but not too much. Within a fortnight of our marriage, both of our nature was known to some extent. I was the one who used to say two things in one speech, while my husband was the one who used to say half of what he wanted to say. But he was good at heart. So, who among those could have written a letter like this? Who are the people who have names that boarded the car that day? Sarita started memorizing everyone's names. In her house, Saru means her own brother-in-law Sarthak. That day he too was there. He is called Saru like a girl's name at home. Did he write the letter as a joke? No, he is not that brave. That day after the meal he stood near the kitchen and said, "Sister-in-law, the food you cooked was good." He was sweating. It's like he is from another planet. He is of shy nature. He could not even have thought of writing like this. Who else was there that day? Sarita thought. Just then the house bell rang as a short break. She went to see who it was. It was sales girl. Sarita said to herself, "She has come to ruin my sweet memory." At that time, showing curiosity as to what the girl might have brought, Sarita closed the door saying, "We don't want your goods," and went back inside the room to float in the wave of memories. Does Saru mean a man? Could it not be a woman? So on that day her grandpa's daughter Sarika came. Could it be her? Isn't she called Saru at home? After eating, she said, "It's okay, sister in law, you prepare nice dishes." Had she gone home and written that letter? But that day she was angry with me. On my way home, I applied kumkum to her and gave her a red sari which I had got for my wedding, thinking that maybe that dark color would not suit me. But she was not informed about this. "Saru, this sari is for you," I said. The very next day she came with that sari with a swollen face. The sari was actually given to me by the sister of Sarika's mother. The sister of Sarika's mother had also visited Sarika's home that day. There, when Sarika showed the sari given to her by me, she told the truth that it was she who had given that sari to me and that I have passed that sari to her as a gift. So, Sarika came directly to me in the early next morning and said, "Sister in law, if you give me the sari which you don't like, why should I take it? If you have any love towards me, then something new should be given. So, what's the point in passing on the old? I don't want this sari. Dress yourself up with this. I have many beautiful saris. Do you know how much I lost my respect before my aunt when she told like that yesterday? I had no sleep that night. She left the sari with me and went away. Wait, Saru, I don't like this color. I thought this would match you, so I did this, I said. What would have happened to you if you had told the truth while giving? Sarika questioned and left without waiting for an answer. I was angry, but not on her, but on myself. I didn't care whether the color would go well with Sarika or not. But my intention was not to pass the sari. This hurt me. After not speaking for 4 days, Sarika came to my house on the fifth day and spoke so well without saying anything to anyone, as if nothing had happened. There was not an iota of anger in her demeanor. Her demeanor was as if she had really forgotten what had happened. Being younger to me, her seniority in nature seemed to resent my childish behavior. How important the little things felt in relationships. Once again, Sarita's eyes looked at the letter. I came to the conclusion that it was impossible for Sarika to write such a letter to me. One time, Sarita looked out of the window. Even the clouds were not moving. It was not even raining. She thought that she would spend the whole day in this haze. Sarita said, "I don't like this rainy weather, but his Sarojakka loves this weather." She had also come for dinner that day. She has a bit of a playful nature. Sarojakka might have written letter as Saru. "Sarita, you have cooked so much. Do you want to show all the consonances that come to you on this day?" I had laughed after hearing that. What skill you have in cooking! I saw that on the wedding day. If that is true, then why did she write as if she did not have time to remember me recently as an old acquaintance? Till this day, she doesn't know that green rice is my favorite dish. Sarojakka just makes jokes. Writing is not her forte. Apart from that, she was among those who left for the town early the next morning. A letter cannot be written while traveling. These letters are cute. They are not scratched like that. She might not be the person who had written the letter. Sarita didn't know when her eyelids closed while she was thinking. She woke up when her husband got up and shouted, "Sarita, make coffee." Sarita cursed herself for sleeping like this. Now, if the person who wrote the letter is not found, Sarita thought that she might not get sleep the following night. So she hurriedly made a cup of coffee and gave it to her husband, and one more cup to herself. She took the letter from the room and read it again. She thought that she had forgotten that she had written a thank you letter to those who had praised the taste of her dishes which she had prepared. No woman's name is unpleasant in our house. If that is the case, who could be this Saru who wrote so much and praised my cooking as if she had tasted it? His friend Sarath did not come for lunch that day. Could he have written it this way? How dare he praise me like this? On that day he had laughed and had said to my husband, "Your stomach will be a feast every day from now on." Thinking that she should inform her husband about this letter, then immediately Sarita remembered what her husband had said while going out. Sarath can neither read nor write Tamil. Tamil is not his mother tongue either. Moreover, learning English from scratch is different. It is not so easy to say the names of all these vegetables concoctions in Tamil with someone else and write them down. My ideas are running up and down without any direction. Is it possible that all his friends do this? None of his friends could have written a letter. Not relatives, not friends. Who else? Sarita started thinking again. It was not priest Saranappa Shastri who came to the house that day. What is his job? He was the one who asked everything to be brought and got served the dishes and ate them. He did not praise and bless me that day. Why does he write like this? If you want to go and inquire about him today, is he on this earth now? Sarita seemed to get angry. It's time again. What is wrong? Is it possible for the letter to be written by the priest? A very good man. He used to treat me like his granddaughter in my new days of marriage. That's it. Even if he used to forget the mantra, he didn't used to see the book. He could not see well then. How can someone who could not read write a letter of praise like this? Sarita felt that her head was exploding and thought that she should throw the letter away. But she could not. Perhaps no one can spare their own praise. No matter what I did, I could not remember who Saru is. Sarita, who was lost in thought, was alerted by her husband's shout. Sarita, oh Sarita, what are you doing in that room? Your aunt's daughter Uma has called. Come quickly. Who? Is it Uma? I am coming, wait. Sarita left with the letter. Hello Uma, how are you? Do you remember me after all these days? I am fine, sister, how are you? I am also fine too, said Sarita. Sister, I did not say that we are raising another floor on our house. Same, in order to rent it out. Now the construction of the house is over and the housewarming is this Sunday. You should definitely come with brother-in-law. Yes, of course, I will come. Will it not be a backbone for you if you give your house for rent? Yes, that's true too, my sister. I am also bored at home alone. If any good householder comes, I will also get a companion. A lot of people are yet to be called. Put the phone down. See you on Saturday, Saru sister. Hearing the last word, Sarita felt something strange. Didn't she call herself Saru sister? Saru. Oh no. The name of Sarita in her native house is Saranya. Was not everyone affectionately calling me Saru? For many years, no one called me by this name. After marriage, everyone started calling me Sarita. It has been many years since people called Saru. Now only my hometown relative Uma called me by this name. She saw the letter in her hand. She stopped laughing as she remembered something. Didn't she write this letter herself? I was a little sad that the delicious food I made for the first time got a very bland response from my in laws. I was young then. I wanted to be praised. I wrote all the words of praise that I wanted to hear in the letter. This letter was written by me. How crazy I was. Is it enough now? Don't I forget myself in thinking about everyone? Did I forget myself in handling the family? Whatever happened, Sarita thought that this letter had made her remember her past memories. Sarita said, "Shall I tell this to my daughter Abhilasha?" No, no, no. She will laugh and will make her son tease me sweetly. Sarita laughed loudly while remembering that. The artificial teeth that have been sitting in the mouth socket for so many days saw the outside world.